Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about someone you may have heard about, and I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Abhigya Anand. And he is somebody that is obviously he's a child prodigy. I mean, he's a prodigy. He has become a renowned astrologer. At this point in time, he made some prediction about the coronavirus. I mean, he may not have said actually the coronavirus was going to take place, but he did predict at least some kind of strong adversity or tribulation that was going to impact many people globally and collectively, which would begin like around mid-November, and then it was going to dissipate and subside, not completely be eradicated or gone at this time, but around like May 29th, he said, like May 29th, he said that it would subside and the impact would not be as severe as far as the epidemic would go. Or in this case, well, actually, it's a pandemic now. But the thing about it is, and I believe he's made some other predictions. He's obviously very prophetic. He's become really a world-renowned astrologer. And the thing about him is that he's obviously very precocious and well beyond his years. He's like 14 years old. The only thing I know about him, as far as anything, as far as his birth data is concerned, that he was born in 2006. He may have kept some of his chart, his birth data concealed for a reason he may not want it divulged or disclosed publicly. I have to respect and understand that. I hope that I mean, if anyone sees this video and knows his anything with his birth data, even if it's just his birth date, feel free to write me on Facebook. I know my comments are disabled here, but you could write me on Facebook and give send me the info on it. The thing about him too is that I mean, I saw something. He had a video. It was about his journey into astrology. And in the video, I mean, we find out, I mean, most people of any celebrity status, they do go through whether it's some obstacles or some difficulties, and they go through trials and tribulations, just like mere mortals do. And when he was like in school, and I don't remember if it was when he was in an astrological school or if it was some other kind of school he was in, it appeared to me, based on what he was saying in the video, that the teachers and students may very well have been intimidated by his intellect. And the thing is also his just his general, ability, as far as his just general intelligence goes. He's obviously somebody. I mean, he speaks at a very high level. He's very he's loquacious, but he's also very verbose and speaks very eloquently. He would question like the teachers on some issues, and I'm sure they took effrontery to it. And the thing about it is he felt, of course, that he had a right to ask the teachers about things that whether it was a question that was associated with him thinking that they said a teacher might have said something incorrectly, or is maybe a complex question that he wanted to ask the teacher that was going to provide an answer that maybe was not covered in the classroom. The thing about it is, I mean, he also stated he had some students that had ridiculed him and for whatever reasons, but he did state he did believe that it was because of some very strong jealousy. And I would say it could even be close to maniacal jealousy when you have people that have to act, like this, and you're talking about somebody that obviously has very prodigious intellectual ability, and he's obviously much older and wiser, well beyond his years. Now, I don't follow Vedic astrology. He's a Vedic astrologer, of course. Most of you know out there that follow my channel consistently is that my videos are based on Western astrology, but I still have to give props where props are deserved. And I mean, obviously what he did was obviously very commendable and admirable as far as his ability to predict this thing with the coronavirus. And I'm sure many other predictions, his prophecies have come to pass. He's had a number of them that have come to pass as well. And the thing, and when you're talking about, I mean, somebody that's as, I mean, astute as he is, you're talking about somebody that is likely better than maybe, I mean, perhaps a lot of these more experienced astrologers who are very proficient and very experienced and have a lot of an abundance of credentials. But the thing about it is, he has done this for a number of years, and I believe he's got like some degree or something in microbiology as well. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he's like, I don't know if he does this currently or had done it. He was going to be like a teacher, a professor somewhere. I don't know if that has actually been done, or if he's actually, that was previous or something he's currently doing. But the thing about it is, I mean, so many people would even be enamored with being able to do that at some point in their life, let alone this kid is only like 14 years old right now. I mean, if he was born in 2006, then of course he's either 14 or going to be 14 later this year. And I would like to say, I mean, the thing is, I really would love to see his birth chart. I mean, is obviously, to me, I think I would say Mercury would almost ostensibly be dominant in his chart or figure prominently somewhere, whether he has it in his dignity or just like one of those planets of high focus, a dominant planet that makes a lot of aspects or makes a lot of very good aspects, or in his first house, or it's in its dignity by sign or accidental dignity by house position. Is obviously, I mean, because his communication ability is outstanding. I would not be surprised if he's got maybe Gemini prominent in his chart. He obviously, when he responds, it's like there's no, like, little or no hesitation, and he speaks very rapidly. So it's telling me, to me, I would say, though this is speculation, I believe he's either got Gemini and or Mercury prominent and dominant in his chart, and Saturn might be prominent as well. The fact that he's so well above his years in terms of his wisdom and his knowledge. I mean, you're talking about somebody whose knowledge is absolutely phenomenal and off the charts, and that would actually be true regardless of his age. But you're talking about somebody that's either 14 or maybe going to be 14 later this year. Maybe he's only 13, but he might. But whatever he is, he's obviously very young, and he is. I mean, this person is obviously living a dream, and I mean, so many people would love to have his renown right now and have his celebrity status, and the fact what I notice about him as well is that he seems to handle the celebrity status with an abundance of maturity, and he doesn't strike me as anyone that's arrogant or egotistical or lets this go to his head. He is somebody, and he strikes me from something I heard that he's very, I mean, in one of the videos, that he seems to be spiritual as well, and that maybe is what keeps him at least somewhat humble and reticent. And he obviously has done, I mean, a tremendous job in terms of giving astrology more credence and credibility. And the people that want to be skeptical or cynical about astrology, what they can do is look to people like him and other people that have made accurate predictions in astrology. Are they all going to say, well, that's just a complete coincidence? It's, the thing about it is, astrology does exist, it's alive and well, and I do believe it's going to gain more validity, more credibility, and credence as the years progress. And I think, and obviously this person has done, I mean, such a phenomenal job, and he's become such a dominant person in the astrological community, and really in a relatively short period. He had been making videos well before he made that video in August of 2019, when he made that prediction of some great crisis or tribulation or what have you that was going to start in mid-November. and was going to at least subside and dissipate to some degree on May 29th. What I find is interesting, and we're going to incorporate George Floyd, his death, into this because it's tied in what I'm going to say regarding his prediction, because George Floyd died on May 25th. Abhigya Anand made his when he made his prediction, he stated that this coronavirus would at least start to subside and have less impact around May 29th. The thing about this is, as far as the news goes, this has been, as far as what's in the media, this coronavirus became less prevalent on May 25th, right when you had the death of George Floyd, because now that is dominating the headlines more, and you're having this thing with the coronavirus, COVID, whatever is 19. It's taken a little bit of a backseat, and it's lost some significance in terms of the important, in terms of the public scene. As far as the public scene, its significance and what's being talked about in the news, it's actually taken a backseat to the George Floyd death, and it seems like that is what's the George Floyd death that has taken precedence in terms of its importance right now in the news over the coronavirus saga. And I just find it interesting that Abhigya, that he stated that this was going to, that its impact, the coronavirus would not be as severe once we hit, or whatever he stated as far as this plague or what have you, that this was not, that it would be less severe when we reach like May 29th. And I believe it's starting to get contained globally on average, but it's also become less significant in the news as well, because of the George Floyd death, which took place just a little bit before May 29th. So anyway, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. I really don't have too much more to say about Abhigya. I mean, there's not enough superlatives that can describe this person. He's obviously, again, not to be redundant, but a prodigy, and somebody that is well, of course, beyond his years in knowledge. It seems like it's almost superhuman capability, the fact he's been able to assimilate so much knowledge in such a relatively short period and go at such an accelerated rate. Obviously, I'm sure he's got a genius IQ. Who knows what his IQ is? It's probably off the charts. It might at least be 150. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.